Welcome to Season 3 of the Take the Leap podcast. We want to thank you for being a part of this journey with us.
Whether you're just starting to tune in or you're a longtime listener of the podcast, you can expect to hear from entrepreneurs in all stages of their journey, how they got to where they are, and all the mistakes and victories they've had along the way.
We're excited to share new guests and have some returning folks from our first 2 seasons. Thank you for being here, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome back, everyone, to the Take the Leap podcast. Tori, how are you this lovely Friday?
I'm great. It's a beautiful Friday. It's sunny here. It's cold. It's cold as balls, but It is sunny here. And I'm in a good mood. It's been a good week. Yeah, I've got nothing else to follow up with on that. How are you?
I'm good. We are like legit the opposite. So it has been like rainy here and like cold for us. Like it's been in the highs in the 50s. And I was just like, I thought I left this weather. I was like, Portland weather is here. But it was really funny because, you and I both know Olivia. It's also been raining really hard in LA. And she was just like, okay, so maybe moving to Portland is no longer on my bingo card if this is the way. And I was like, oh yeah, guys, this is going to be what it is.
If that week of rain in LA is bringing you down, definitely do not move to Portland.
Absolutely. I was like, you'd have that to look forward to, not just a week, but maybe 4 to 6 months, depending on the year. So,
but side note, Olivia, if you ever listen to this, if you do want to move to Portland, please do, because that would be lovely.
Right. We're trading spots. Absolutely. But anyways, today I'm really excited. We get to debrief our conversation with Aneisha. If folks do not remember, Aneisha is a bookkeeper that works with neurodivergent entrepreneurs. And I think one of the things that I really loved about what we chatted about with her was normalizing messy money conversations. And so like you and I have talked about this before in our business, like when you're a business owner, when you're just starting out, you often spend money on things that maybe you're not the best, and maybe you're a little bit embarrassed about, and maybe you don't want to talk about, but also like it's reality. And it's actually kind of funny. I just was at a networking thing earlier today, and somebody was talking to me about like figuring out all of her marketing technology. And I had told her, I was just like, oh, I do that a lot with clients. And one of the things that I like to do is making sure that you are not paying for things that do the same thing. Because I think a lot of times we get into the habit of like, well, I like the way that this does this one thing, but I could also get it over here in this other thing that I have. Exactly. And then you just have so much tech that you're just like,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. When it multiplies, like it might not seem so bad that this cost $20 and that cost $20, but like 20 times 5 is $100 a month. And that's significant, in business, especially when you're first starting out. So I don't know if you have anything else you want to share on that point as well.
Well, it's such a good point and such a good reminder is like, I mean, I guess if you think about in your personal life, right? Like the subscriptions pile up quickly, whether it's, for entertainment, Netflix, and then you also need Hulu and then all these things. And, depending on the shows that you want to watch, it's like that same kind of concept, right? Of like, that can happen so easily in business. Of like, oh, there's this really cool new gadget that'll help me with this. But if you really look through and make sure you're utilizing the features of the software that you're using, I feel like that's so helpful. And I think specifically when it comes to like email campaigns and CRM managers and things like that, like there are just so many things that like have all the features. Could you make sure that you're using all the features? And then once you cap that out, then maybe it's time to look at something else. But like, I feel like, it's for us, even as marketers, like it's so easy to be like, ooh, there's this cool new thing for social media that does this, or there's this cool new thing that, manages this in a different way. I want to try this one. And it just, it happens so quickly.
Yeah.
So it's a good reminder.
It is. I know. It's so funny that you talk about the subscription thing. So
Mhm.
my mom is one of those people that she will only have one per month. Like she'll have
Okay.
Hulu for a month and she'll have Apple for a month and whatever. And she likes to watch like a lot of TV shows. And so I was talking to her on my drive earlier today and she's like, what should I watch? And I was like, what do you have right now? Cause like I am guilty. We have all of the things. And we are those naughty people that like share with people some of the things that don't
All of
like,
us do.
yeah, I was going to say that don't limit, the number of devices and stuff like that. But yeah, so
Mhm.
I was like, oh, I just watched this really good thing on Hulu. And she's like, oh, I don't have that right now. And I was like, well, mom, this is going to be really hard because like I am not going to remember what I've watched on each
Per
platform.
platform. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I usually just have her like add it to her list. And I'm like, when you get that again, just go look for it. But also oftentimes things like come out on different, like it'll be on this one and then eventually it will come on the other
It
streaming
makes its
platform too.
way.
Yeah. Like it's
Yeah, they
round
can
stuff
never
like
just
that.
keep. That's the thing that drives me nuts. I know they do this on purpose from like a business standpoint, but like they can't just like once something's on there, they can't just keep it. I'm like, you have
Yeah.
the licensing for it, you have the
Seriously.
whatever for it, and then you take it down,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have to go find it elsewhere, and
Yeah.
then that place takes it down, so then I have to find it elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, come on. And then they always do this. Like the movies that you want to watch at certain times a year, they
They'll take it
remove
off and
it.
they make it paid. Yes.
Yeah. Like
uh
really?
Yeah, we are guilty of that. My husband, every once in a while, he'll be like, I want to watch The Martian. And I'm like, okay, fingers crossed, let's hope it's on something. And it, 9 times out of 10, it's like $3.99 and whatever. And I was like, you know
Yeah.
what, we need to wait because I legit just like, actually, I think it's available right now on Netflix. So I'm like, do you want to watch it? Because it's here. And then it's gonna go away when you think of it again. But I've definitely done that with shows before, where I'm like, I'm in the mood for this movie that I used to watch when I, in my teenage years, and then it's just not on.
It's just
But it's
not there.
on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My husband's doing this thing where he's been renting like he'll like make a list of all of those movies and like
Mm-hmm.
shows that we want to rewatch in the future, and he'll rent them from the library,
Yes, that's
and then
perfect.
he'll download them onto like a server or like whatever, and like it helps us because it's like, okay, maybe we do eventually just need to go back to DVDs because all this streaming access is so overwhelming anyway. I feel like it takes us like 3 hours just to
Just to find
find what we
something.
want to watch.
Yeah. Well,
It's
we
so overwhelming.
when we moved, I think, into this house, we started a new Netflix, like a new profile just to
Yeah.
get like new stuff because where when we used to live and had like roommates and stuff, we wouldn't like cycle through Netflix accounts. We'd just like leave mine basically logged in. So I feel like my Ashlan account is just filled with so much stuff that like I would never watch and it was because like the people that lived with us would just watch a variety of things. So I'm like, who is this built for? This weird,
Yeah.
like sometimes we're watching like World War II movies, but then we're also watching like romantic comedies and then like some random like ancient alien stuff. And I'm like, this is not built for a real person. This is clearly built for like a bunch of different people who are watching different things. So
Exactly.
oh,
It's wild. It's wild, but it applies to business too, and I just really appreciated her perspective, and again, like you said, the messiness
yeah.
of money and conversation, because like we can all have a budget, but most of us, our brains don't work that way, and where like we are tracking every single cent that we're spending.
Yeah.
So like removing the shame from that and figuring out like what works for our brains,
Mm-hmm.
I think like helped me anyway to be like, oh yeah, this is like a more complex situation than a black and white, and I don't need to morally feel bad about myself because I'm not sticking to the
Doing all the
plan
things.
because I forgot to cancel that subscription or whatever. Like I really appreciated her insight.
Yeah. And I know that one of the things too that she talked about is just by reducing that overwhelm by basically systematizing and creating a sustainable system for yourself. So, like, regularly doing your bookkeeping, not having that shame, understanding some different things. And I know one of the things that I don't use in my business yet, but I want to at some point in the future that she talked about was profit first, and like also understanding your cash flow report and also your P&L statements, and just kind of like taking a look at that. And I think, didn't we, I'm trying to remember, didn't we talk to her about like looking at the statement, and like a lot of people like focus on that like revenue part first, but actually like looking at it backwards. So like looking at the expenses and like figuring out what from there you can like tackle. Because I think a lot of people think that the solution to the problem is, if I just made more money, this would be easier. But in reality, when you do make more money, there are additional expenses that might come with that. Like I know for me recently, I've been doing like a lot of cleanup on systems. So like clients that I'm not working with anymore, like taking out their accounts out of my like social media scheduling tool that I use, Loomly, like just removing that access, removing them out of there. Or like even like some of my Google Workspace folders and stuff like that, be like, okay, I'm giving them 30 days notice, be like, hey, you still have access to like this folder. I am going to be like archiving it and putting it away. So like if you need anything out of here, you have like 30 days basically to like download your stuff and get out of there, sort of thing. So I've been doing a lot of that kind of work as we kind of end out this year, just to like, one, get it off of like the mental checklist that needs to happen, and then also not having to like have so many seats and things like that can open up, like rather than not doing that and being like, oh, I signed somebody new and now I need to like bump up into the next higher plan. I'm like, oh wait, actually I can remove some stuff out of, remove some things out of here. And I know initially I was like keeping some of them attached just for like data and reporting and like case study reasons. But honestly, I just need to get those things and like get it done and then like move on from there as well.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's great. I love that.
Well, did you have any other thoughts about our conversation with Aneisha before we move to our fun, our other fun thing that we put in our solo episodes?
Not really. Just to wrap it up and say that, it all comes back to systems. Like no matter if it's financial or marketing or the way, your customer experience, like having good systems at the end of the day is going to be what sets your business apart.
Yeah.
And I think her specialty of working with neurodivergent entrepreneurs was really helpful in knowing that like your system doesn't have to be like everybody else's system, but you need to have some sort of a system.
Yeah.
And it was just a good reminder.
Yeah.
So I think,
Absolutely. Find a system that works for you. It's not necessarily going to be the same, or you can piece together. Like I feel like you and I do some things similarly, or like learn from each other's like systems. And then all other times we're just like, okay, this doesn't work for me anymore. So I'm going to switch it up and figure out what I need instead.
Yeah. Which I think is normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's normal to change your system after a while,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially if you run into those roadblocks, or if something is off and you need to just, instead of just being frustrated with it and keeping on going, like take some time, pause, reflect, adjust as well. Okay. So moving into the next piece, what is your win for this week, Tori?
Yes, my win is that I launched my workshop again. It's called Get Your Marketing Shit Together, but this version is kind of a mini version. So the full version it's like a 4-week small group workshop. I've condensed it to 2 weeks, and it's intended to help you before the end of the year kind of get your marketing shit together, get things put together before the end of the year, and figure out, how to go into 2026 with a better plan. And so, the whole basis around this workshop is, I call it a workshop, but I think it's more of like a small group gathering, if you will.
Yeah, yeah. I guess
I
I took
feel
it when you ran it last
yeah,
time, and even though you and I both do marketing, it was just even really just nice to, like, have the time to work on my own business stuff and just, like,
yeah.
learn a different perspective or a different way to, like, look at things than I've been doing it, and I found it very helpful and useful in, like,
Thank
planning things out,
you.
and then I got busy, so I couldn't actually do the things that I wanted. However, December is going to be the time that I kind of get caught up on all these things.
That's good. Well, thank you for saying that. And I love that you were part of like that initial beta group, and it was so good to like have you be in that. And I think the whole purpose of this is really just to help people who are like so sick of winging it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know 2025 has been a really weird year for a lot of businesses. And so if you didn't have a system, if you just kind of did things as they came up, it probably wasn't working great before, but 2025 really like highlighted how much that doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal is to help people kind of walk them through that and figure out what they can do, like just because one person is posting on Instagram 5 times a day doesn't mean that that's what you should do for your business. It's all about making it into something that you actually have the capacity for, that will also help move the needle on things.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we do. Is it's a little bit of teaching, but then also it's a lot of hands-on, like back and forth experience. It's a way to work with me that's a little bit more accessible too. You're going to get that one-on-one piece.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested, folks, we'll have it in the show notes, but you can go to my website and sign up for that. This mini version is a quick and more accessible version for people. It's cheaper. And we will be meeting. Our first one is next week, December 9th, Tuesday, December 9th at 11 a.m. And then we'll have another live session on the following Tuesday in December. And then you'll also, as part of it, get a free one-on-one with me just to kind of make sure that you're locking it in for
Mm-hmm.
2026. So if you want to get organized, get your marketing shit together, that's that. Didn't mean to make this a sales pitch, but that is my win for the week. Is I'm just really, really excited to be able to offer this again and offer it in a way to like hopefully help relieve some stress before the end of the year.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
Yeah. What about you? What is your win for the week?
I actually had a great wrap up with a client. It's been a little bit since we had this wrap up, but we spent 9 months with them working on a rebrand. We renamed the organization, got them a brand new website. And even though we had like some bumps along the way, and I wouldn't even call them bumps, it was just more like, when you're working with people and like things don't go like smooth or exact, it's not really, I don't know, it's not really like a failure or anything, but I feel like I won't say even communications challenges. It was mostly like needing to like layer in like why we're doing certain things and like, oh, we spent a little more time on this, or a lot of it too, we were supposed to be done in July and then we ended up finishing in like mid-November, so it was a little bit of like a longer program and process. But anyways, my big win from it was that they were really happy with the partnership. They said some really nice things which I got to record in our like final meeting so that I can remember them. And then they accepted to be part of a case study. So I'm really excited to be working on that
Yay.
and putting that together, and counting that as like a major win for
That's
something we
huge.
did as well. Yeah, yeah, it was really exciting. So
Congrats.
thank
That's
you.
huge. That's such a
Yeah,
big deal.
yeah.
I know you've been working really hard on that, and I know
It was a
that was
lot.
a lot.
It was a lot this week,
Yeah.
but it was real. I mean, it was very rewarding. It was with a nonprofit that's doing some really amazing work, and yeah, it felt really nice. Like even yeah, in those moments where like, oh my god, they're mad at us, and they're like, we weren't ever mad at you. We just wanted to make sure that we were going through it correctly and all of that. So yeah, it was very good. Okay, now we got to transition. What is your do better for this week?
Yes. I need to prioritize things a little bit better. And I don't necessarily mean just like time management. I mean, like, and we have this conversation every couple months. It's like a good reminder of like how to be a good business owner. But like, I'm always prioritizing, like, okay, let's get my client stuff done and then my stuff.
Yeah.
Let's do this urgent thing done and then this. And I've been, as a person who helps with strategy with other people, like I've been trying really hard to keep that same level of strategy within my own business too.
Yeah.
And so it's just a good reminder of like I need to make sure, like, when it comes to my own business and the things that need to get done for it, like that is my number one priority. And then, my clients are right underneath that, and then everything else, and
Yeah.
so it's not necessarily like I don't have like a time management issue. Like I'm not like struggling to get things done. It's just that I am more likely recent weeks to put off something that I want to do for my business or for myself, so that I can get client work done. And I don't want to get back into that routine,
Hmm.
because that is, to the long-term success of my business, it is not as helpful. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
That makes
What
sense.
about you?
It's really, really similar. So I think a lot of times, like, I need to work on quicker follow up and like wrapping up of projects. So, like, I've noticed that I have a really easy time like getting started on things and maybe
Mhm.
even getting like 90% of the way there. And then something about like if you think of it as a marathon, like something about that last mile is just like so tough or like just, even if like something did wrap up, but you need to send like two more things. Like I found myself guilty of that, like not sending an invoice the other week. And I'm like, what the heck? Like you're supposed to, like you finished it, you did a good job, they were really happy. Like why was that like left off the list or whatever? So yeah, so doing that, and then with this new client case study in mind, I am really, really trying to make sure that I get that done like quickly. One, before I'll like the details leave my brain, but also like because I'm going to send it to them to just like get their eyes on it, get their approval, and make sure that we're not saying anything that they wouldn't want us to say, because that would be really bad if they like just see it. I've actually had that happen before, not with my client in particular, but somebody else that I've worked with. They were like, "Oh, I didn't know that they were going to use that, or like use that video, or like
Oh,
take that snippet." And I was like, "They didn't get your permission?" And they're like,
yeah.
"No." And I was like, "That's not the way I would do it." So anyways, yes, so prioritizing like getting those wrap up things done so that not in 6 months I'm like, oh hey, remember us? Like we did this really great thing for you all. Yeah, so that's what I'm
Yeah.
going to try to do better moving
Smart.
forward as well. So
That's really smart. And as a side note, for a client, I recently just implemented that as an automatic system for her.
ooh,
So they will be getting an email after they work with her. And because hers is like appointment based, so
oh
it's a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
easier. It's a little bit easier than kind of like what we're talking about. But she has like an email that goes out that asks for feedback, that asks for reviews, that like has links to all this stuff, and then like asks if they'd be willing to like share, any information about that so she can use it as a thing. So
Awesome,
it's like an automatic thing that she built in.
nice.
And so,
Okay.
again, just another friendly reminder for all of us, like, how can you build that into your systems?
Hmm. Absolutely. All
Yeah.
right.
That was good.
That was good. Oh, and then we need to not forget this little piece. What is a piece of media content, song, movie? I feel like we forgot about this, like in one of our solo episodes. So yeah,
We
what is
did,
it
yeah.
you're digging right now that we can tell our audience about?
Well, okay, so last time I told you about a book I was reading, I finished that book and it was really good. I I'm just trying to think. Okay, so I almost finished with it. I'm reading a new book. It's another romantasy book
I
called
mean, it's a
Metal
thing.
Slinger. so good. Yeah, it's called Metal Slinger. I'm blanking on the author's name now. It's really, really, really good.
Nice.
And I'm really into it. And then I just got my pre-order book Brimstone, which is the second to Quicksilver.
Yep.
Um
Nice.
by Callie Hart, and I'm sure, yeah, it's definitely a more popular one. And I'm saving it for Thanksgiving since we are hibernating.
Nice.
Um,
I
yes,
love
this was recorded around Thanksgiving, folks.
it.
Because I just realized it's going out in a couple weeks. So anyway, yes, I'm reserving it for then, and because I have a lot of work to do between now and then, and I don't want to
Get
get
distracted.
so sucked in that I don't work. So yeah, I'm saving it for then, and I'm really, really, really excited to read it.
Nice.
So,
I love it.
what about you? What are you reading?
It's not a book. So we've been like on a little bit of a reality TV binge
Ooh.
lately. So, gosh, the day that The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season
Oh
3
my
came out,
gosh.
I finished
I
it.
still haven't seen it.
Oh, you should watch it. It's so entertaining.
Everyone's been telling me
It's so
to watch it.
entertaining. Well, and it's so funny. So like season 3, they like shoot the reunion for season 2 like in the middle of them like filming season 3. So now it all makes more
Interesting.
sense why they were like doing the things that they were doing.
Mhm.
Anyway, so I watched like all of that like and I had like I call it a deep work day. I had a deep work day where I was like doing a bunch of stuff on my computer, and then I usually set my laptop up over here and like watch
Mhm.
to a reality TV show. Um, so that was great. And then I can't wait till the reunion for that comes out because there was just so much more drama. But then my husband and I have been watching like a lot of Korean TV shows, and so we watched
Mhm.
Physical Asia,
Okay.
which was like all these like athletes from different countries like Australia and Mongolia and Korea and Japan. They had people from Turkey, Indonesia. I'm trying to think of what the other countries were. I think I already said Mongolia. But anyways, it was just entertaining because they were doing all different kinds of things and like fell in love with a bunch of the Australian people. There's like the guy who's like the strongman. He's so big. One of the challenges was like to throw. Basically, it looks like a kettlebell, but like huge,
Mhm.
and it like weighs. They always do things in kilograms, and I was like, I wish I knew how much that was in real weight. But he's so big, he would like throw it so far over the bar that the poor guy from the Philippines had to like run to grab it, drag it back, and then do his own throw. That I felt like
Oh
so
my
bad.
gosh.
And I was like, you're at a disadvantage because you have to like carry that thing like so much further because he's just like literally like launching it over. But yeah, it was highly
Mhm.
entertaining. I won't say who won, but now I'm like following all of them on Instagram now, and they're doing like a bunch of promo stuff together, and it's just really cute to see like different people
That's
from different
fun.
countries like do stuff together, prank each other, like do all these different things.
I
um
love that.
so yeah, that one was fun. We've been watching this like Michelin star like thing on Apple TV. So like food stuff. We watched like a Korean like food TV thing. Yeah, I just spent a lot of and the Squid Game like challenge, like real people doing the Squid Game
Oh, okay,
challenges.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
I've been interested in that.
Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, I've said it before on this podcast. I really like reality TV because like it's people, and then you get to
Yeah.
learn like what makes people like tick. Because yeah, my mom's like, "Why do
Yep.
you like that?" And I was like, "Because humans consume this, and then they make assumptions about humans. Like
Yeah.
it's so important. I feel like it's really important for marketing and to be like up on trends and stuff like that. Like." Even when like Love Island was out, I mean, I feel like everybody had like a Love Island meme to go back to. So anyways, that has been
That's true.
what has been in our like TV cycle lately. It's just a lot of reality competition shows that
I
have been
love
super
that.
fun.
I love that.
Yeah,
That sounds so fun.
it is really fun. Yeah, yeah. Oh, and Ink Master too. If you're into tattoos,
Mm.
they've been
Okay.
having some really cool, and also some really bad tattoos.
Yeah,
That
I'm
I'm just
sure.
like, that's stuck on you forever. Like,
Like, that was a choice.
that was a choice. Yeah. So, anyways, that
I
is
love
what I've
that.
been up to and watching.
Nice.
But yeah. Well, with that, audience, humans that are listening to us,
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Take the Leap, and we'll see you next time. Bye for
Bye.
now. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Take the Leap podcast. Check out our show notes to connect with us and our guests. If you have questions about the episode or ideas for future topics, send us a direct message on Instagram or email us at aloha@taketheleap-today.com. If you're interested in being a guest, fill out the guest interest form on our website.
If you're a new entrepreneur who is looking for a roadmap to move your business idea forward, check out the Take the Leap course on our website, taketheleap-today.com. Members who join the course also have an opportunity to join us in bi-weekly co-working and group coaching calls to build momentum and work on your business.
And if you'd like a flavor of what we offer, sign up for our free webinar with the 9 essential steps you need to launch your business with clarity and confidence. See you next time.